Hi everyone, Bernard here. Hope you're all staying safe and well. Welcome to my film and TV channel. And today we have a movie review, a horror movie to review today. It's called The Dark and the Wicked. Please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications if you enjoy what you see. I do try and inform and entertain. I do other people's, I check out what other critics are thinking about these films, and users are thinking, watchers, the Joe Public, you and me, and also I'll add my own little two pennyworth as well. So if you enjoy that, please push that notification button. You'll also see stuff on my football team, Manchester City, as well. So if that's of any interest, or you know somebody might be interested, please point them in my direction. Do similar things on there, magazine vlogs, information vlogs on City, past and present on there. And if you check the links on screen to Facebook and Twitter, I do check every couple of days. If you friend or follow me, I do reciprocate and friend and follow back. And there's little links to my movie GameNostalgia.com website as well, where I sell old and rare DVDs, movie posters from the 90s and 2000s, and some board games on there as well. So if that's of any interest to you, please pop along there. All comments are welcome on this film, or anything you want to talk about on film and TV, doesn't matter which. And of course, if you can just give us a thumbs up, that'll be absolutely fantastic. Right, The Dark and the Wicked. Yeah, this is out to buy, so I'll give you the information at the end of this this vlog. 95 minutes, an 18 certificate. Horror film written and directed by Brian Patino. I think he did The Strangers, which I quite liked a year or two ago. It's the stars Martin Ireland as Louise, Michael Abbott Jr. as Michael, Xander Berkeley as the priest, Lynn Andrews as the nurse, and Julie Oliver Touchstone as mother, so some other characters as well. What's it about? Well, Louise and Michael are distant siblings who are brought back to the family farm in Texas when their father's illness, which keeps him bedridden and uncommunicative, cared for by his wife and a nurse, worsens. The mother seems disturbed and expresses a desire for the children to leave. But you know what kids are like, don't take any notice, do they? Let's be honest about it. So was it any good? Well, as all these scores and reviews are as at the 30th of June 2021, 1 PM UK time, Rotten Tomatoes, they quite like it. Yeah, it's got an approval rating, positivity rating, if you like, of 91%. That's based on 103 critics. And of that 103 critics, 94 gave it a fresh review, which is quite impressive, and 9 just give it a rotten, so not many rottens at all. The average rating for the whole thing is 7.4 out of 10, so not too shabby, that one. A couple of the fresh reviews are from Kath Clark from The Guardian. She wrote, "There is possibly not a single scary moment here that will be new to horror fans, but Patino directs with such technical flair that I yelped at most of them and half missed the others, eyes squeezed tight shut." Frank Scheck of a fresh review, Hollywood from the Hollywood Reporter. He wrote, "The ambient sound designs, disturbing musical score, disorientating visuals and subtle special effects add immeasurably to the overall impact, but it's Ireland's shattering performance that truly gives the film its gripping power." Yeah, Katie Erbland from IndieWire, she wasn't quite as impressed, but not a total disaster. She gave it a rotten mark, and she wrote, "Ireland's the kind of scream queen we need these days, emotive, real, deeply human, even if The Dark and the Wicked doesn't always rise up to meet her powers." And the consensus on Rotten Tomatoes: The Dark and the Wicked delivers on its title with an unsettling horror story whose deep dread and bleak outlook further compound its effective jolts. The Rotten Tomatoes audience, yeah, not as enamoured, 64% positivity, so not quite as high, and the average 3.4 out of 5, so you can say that's 6.8 out of 10, which isn't that bad, is it? But it's not quite as high as the critics. Metacritic, the other site we look at, reports a score of 72 out of 100 on average, based on 14 critics, and it scores anywhere between 50 out of 100 and 91 out of 100. IndieWire's Katie Erbland only give it 50. She wrote, "Despite a strong start, Patino's grim and gruesome The Dark and the Wicked never coalesces into anything more than a collection of chilling images and a paper-thin logic." Yeah, I do echo a little bit of that. And the New York Times' Jeanette Katsoulis, she gave it 9 out of 10, or 90 out of 100, quite high. "Pitiless in its intent and hopeless in its sense of sorrowful dereliction, The Dark and the Wicked fully earns its horrifically distressing final scenes. Meta users and Metacritic users, 6.1 out of 10. So again, a little bit down on the general trend of the critics, but still a good watchable rating. Internet Movie Database, they echo the Meta users. That's 6.1 out of 10 at the moment, as with 11,306 reviews and scores left on Internet Movie Database. So that's you, me, Joe Public. And of that 11,306, 7,736 gave it a score of 6 or more. So that's 68% positivity, which isn't too bad. Right, what about little old me? What does Bernard think about this? Well, yeah, generally the reviews for this are pretty, well, I wouldn't say stunning, but pretty impressive from most of the critics. And although positive, not quite as gushing from the public, which is not unusual these days with film reviews. I am a little bit mixed, I have to admit, with this. In parts, it is quite genuinely scary in a sort of jump scare sort of way. And yes, there is a bit of a story, but it all felt just a little bit disjointed to me and very hard to understand what was really going on in the background. The on-screen atmosphere and sets very, very good, and I thought the actors did a pretty good job. And this is a horror, so I don't expect a plot to make a lot of sense, to be honest with you. Most, even some of the best horrors don't make any sense whatsoever. But I wouldn't have minded with this anyway, a bit more storytelling and background to the events that play out on the screen. Someone commented about the ending before. I don't like the end. I thought the ending was as in the lack of a backstory, it just felt a little bit lazy to me as an ending. Having said that, there's obviously far more rubbishy, bigger budget horror efforts out there, and for me, this, although it is a little bit of a letdown, it did obviously manage to scare me 2 or 3 times while I was watching it. But as I say, I just wanted a little bit more. So yes, I will just about give it a watchable rate. I'm just going to give it a 6 out of 10, which isn't much down on what Internet Movie Database is saying. So I will give it a watchable, but I was a little bit I must admit, I was a little bit disappointed having read some of the scores and watched the trailer before watching it. But let me know what you think anyway with this one. As I say, it's nice to see a sort of okay-ish horror film, but I would have liked a little bit more. This is actually out to buy from the 5th of July in store here in the UK and online and anywhere you want to be, as long as you've got your region. So just check your territory wherever you are. So that's The Dark and the Wicked, 18, £9.99 on DVD and £12.99 on Blu-ray. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to do the rest day. Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. So we meet here again on the film and TV channel, or perhaps have a flit across, have a look at my Citizen channel, my football channel. I only ask one thing, please stay safe everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.